I want to show you a quick demo of Spin Rewriter 2, and the claims on the sales page state that it can automatically spin articles and produce perfect readable content, and that's quite a bold claim, so let's have a look. Firstly, what I've done is I've pulled out a PLR article, and this is a PLR article from Martin Avis's Kickstart PLR membership site, and it's some of the better PLR content. The PLR that I'm going to be rewriting is 614 words, so let's just copy that, go back to Spin Rewriter and click on the Rewrite Your Articles, and I need to just paste that in to the box, so it's all in there. If I scroll down a little bit, you see that it says 619 words. If I scroll down a little bit, I can click this button here because I want Spin Rewriter to also automatically spin sentences, automatically spin paragraphs, and I'm going to say I want Spin Rewriter to automatically write additional paragraphs on its own to see how that works. So we've got those selected, we just hit the start rewriting process. And it's now just loading the text. That literally took 20 seconds or so to do that. And you can see here we've got curly brackets, so it has rewritten either or spun a paragraph or sentences. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is we can spin the words and phrases. However, there is a phrase I want to preserve. I don't want it spun, and that is lower back pain. So if you come down here and click on one-click rewrite, at the top here it's got what you want to replace the words and phrases. All synonyms that might be correct, synonyms that Spin Rewriter believes are correct, or only synonyms that Spin Rewriter is really confident about. And you move that slider around. I want to have only the best, and I'm going to put in here lower back pain so that that phrase is not rewritten. So anything you put in here, one per line, is protected. And you can also select this here that find synonyms for single words inside spun phrases as well. So that's multi-level nested spinning. So let's just click on the start button to rewrite this. Okay, it's finished doing that, and that took a little bit longer, maybe 45 seconds to a minute, but it's now completed the spin, and you can see all the spin tags in this. So let's just scroll down. There's the complete article now spun. Scroll down to just underneath the box, you can see uniqueness stats. There are billions of possible versions, and each version should be 99% unique on average. The last thing we need to do is click this continue to final step. So we'll click that, and what that does is it does some final checks on the document. So for example, it will change a or an depending on whether it comes before a word starting with a vowel. So for example, it would say a bike or an airbed. So that's one of the things it does. When it's finished, you can see here now that we've got the final article. What I'm going to do is just copy it, paste it into the spinner that I use, which is called Spinchimp. I used to use the best spinner, and I really liked it, but as it developed, it just got slower and slower and slower till it became almost unusable. So that's why I use Spinchimp now. And let's just do a spin view. Okay, I don't like the title, but let's have a look at the first paragraph. Are you experiencing lower back pain? If you do not have any sort of underlying medical conditions, then the most likely cause for the discomfort you feel would either be sitting or bending for extended time periods, your slumbering position, or your bed. In this post, we will definitely discuss precisely how we can avoid lower back pain and supply a couple of alternatives so that we can avoid you from waking up sore every morning. Let's try a different spin. Are you dealing with lower back pain? If you do not have any sort of hidden medical conditions, then the most likely reason for the pain you feel might either be sitting or bending for prolonged periods of time, your resting position, or your bed. In this post, we will definitely discuss exactly how we can easily stay clear of lower back pain and supply a couple of choices so we can easily avoid you from aching every morning. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than a lot of the spinners that I've seen. And you can see here that the paragraph lengths are changing. Let's just get rid of that so you can see a bit more. And I should also add that if you don't have a spinning tool like Spinchimp or the Best Spinner, then you can actually rewrite the you can actually spin the article within the SpinWriter interface. So you can just click on Generate a Unique Version of the text, and you'll see there it's generated a version of the text. You can just keep repressing that to get different versions. If you want to automatically create a number of different versions, you click on the Settings and Export, and this little panel opens up here where you can define how many articles you need, all the way up to 1,000. You can export them in zip format. You can specify that the generated versions do not contain any of the original words if you want to, and then you've got these other options here. Export the finished article with spin tags in place, so in other words, export it with all that spin there. Export unique articles in its own text file, so if you selected 1,000 articles, then you'd have 1,000 text files. Or export all the unique articles in a single text file separated by a custom article separator, and you could put that in there and it would generate one text file, and it would add whatever you decide to put in here between each article, so you can separate them. So that's Spin Rewriter 2. It does a pretty impressive job of rewriting, although I would still go through the articles myself. If it was to be for backlinks to my own website, I'd go through the articles myself and make sure that they did read properly, just doing a little bit of editing, either in this spun view or in the editor, where I could actually change some of these and remove the ones that aren't working. But overall, it's quite impressive.